Hi Algebra students! In this video we're just doing a quick review of the three forms of quadratic equations that we've learned so far and the information that we know when the equation is in each of those three forms. So we have standard form, vertex form, and factored form. We'll start with standard form. This is standard form. When we're working in standard form, the axis of symmetry is found using the equation x equals negative b over 2a. That's that formula we have to find the axis of symmetry, and then to find the vertex, we use that x value as the x coordinate of our vertex, and then to find the y coordinate, we plug in that x value to see what we get for y. Something we haven't exactly talked about, but we can talk about now, is that we should know how to find the y-intercept. When we look at a graph of any function, if we're looking at a y-intercept, the x value of a y-intercept is always 0. And if you think about plugging 0 in for x into this function, this becomes 0, so that would be gone. This becomes 0, that would be gone. All that's left is c. So the y-intercept is always just going to be the point 0, c. So this c value actually is quite important when you're looking at a graph in standard of an equation in standard form. Okay, and then that a value tells us a couple different things. We've learned that when the a value is negative, that means the parabola opens down. When it's positive, the parabola opens up. We have learned that when the a value is greater than 1, we have a vertical stretch, which just means our graph is a little bit narrower. And we've learned that when the a value is less than 1, we have a vertical compression. And that just means our graph is a little bit wider than the parent function. So those are the things we know in standard form. In vertex form, we can find the axis of symmetry using the equation x equals h. So just the opposite sign of the number that is with the x in the parentheses. And then the vertex is the point h, k. The opposite sign of the number with the x, and then the k value is the number added at the end. And I'm not even going to rewrite this because the a value in vertex form means the exact same thing as the a value in standard form. So all of these things are still true. All right, our last form was factored form. When I first introduced it, instead of writing x1 and x2, I wrote p and q. It really doesn't matter what way we write it, it means the same thing. But I guess I will use p and q since that's how I introduced it the first time. So when we have factored form, we know that the x-intercepts are 0, p and 0, q. So it's just those numbers with the x in the parentheses, but the opposite sign. The axis of symmetry is found by finding the middle x value between the two x-intercepts. And that works because we know parabolas are symmetric, so if we know where the two x-intercepts are, then the axis of symmetry needs to be right in the middle. And then the vertex, we take this x value of our axis of symmetry, and then to find the y value, we plug in x. And then the a value, again, I'm not going to rewrite this because a value always means the same thing. All of the things that were true in standard form are still in factored form. So this is just a little chart that summarizes what we know about the three forms of graphing quadratic functions. Your assignment for today is a matching activity and a quiz that involves all three forms, and this sheet might be handy as you're completing those. Good luck!